function. In this lecture we are going to see some example. Example number 22, sine inverse of sine 2 pi by 3. So we have discussed that thing. Whenever any inverse trigonometric function of trigonometric that is given, then we cannot directly write that thing 2 pi by 3. Because whenever any sine inverse of sine x that is given, then we can write that thing is equal to x if and only if x belongs to minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. તો આ કન્ડિશન્સ હતી ત્યાં એ આપણે જોઈ હતી. એવી રીતે સિમિલરલી cos ઇન્વર્સમાં, એવી રીતે tan ઇન્વર્સમાં. તો અહીંયા બી એ કન્ડિશન્સ એપ્લાય કરવી પડશે. તો આપણે પહેલા ચેક કરીએ આ 2 pi by 3 જે છે એ આમાં આવે છે તો કે નહીં, બીકોઝ આ જે છે -92 + 90 છે. આ જે છે આ એંગલ 120 છે, તો આની અંદર નહીં આવે એ વસ્તુ. તો ધેટ્સ વાય આપણે પહેલા આને આ ઇન્ટરવલમાં કન્વર્ટ કરવું પડશે. ધેન આફ્ટર આપણે ડાયરેક્ટલી કેન્સલ કરી શકીશું. So first of all, and how can we convert sine inverse of sine 2 pi by 3 can be written as pi minus pi by 3. Pi minus pi by 3. Pi minus second quadrant. So that's why that can be written as sine of pi by 3. Pi minus second quadrant, in the second quadrant sine that is positive. So that's why sine pi by 3. And pi means x-axis, so function does not change. So sine inverse of sine pi by 3. Now pi by 3 that lies between -90 to 90. That's why we can cancel out directly. So that's why answer that is pi by 3. Because 2 pi by 3 first we write pi minus pi by 3. Then after that can be written as sine pi by 3. And pi by 3 lies between -92 + 90 because pi by 3 means 60 degree. So we can directly cancel out sine inverse and sine. So pi by 3. Now next, example number 23, cos inverse of cos 13 pi by 6. So here also range of the cos inverse that is 0 to pi. Now 13 pi by 6 does not lies in 0 to pi. So that's why first of all we have to convert that 13 pi by 6 into some smallest angle such that lies between 0 to pi. So first of all we write cos inverse of cos 13 pi by 6, that can be written as 2 pi plus pi by 6. Cos inverse of cos 2 pi plus pi by 6, because 12 plus 1 means 13 pi by 6. Now 2 pi plus means first quadrant, even pi plus first quadrant. In first quadrant cos that is positive and x-axis, so function does not change. That's why directly we can write cos pi by 6. Now pi by 6 that lies between 0 to 180. That's why we can directly cancel out cos inverse and cos. So we can write directly pi by 6. So one thing in short you have to remember, whenever any inverse trigonometric function of trigonometric function that is given, then we can cancel out that both function if and only if that x lies in the range of the given inverse trigonometric function. Now next we see concept exercise 2. So first question, that is cos inverse of cos 7 pi by 6. That is very simple, so you will do it by yourself. Then after example number 3, tan inverse of minus tan 13 pi by 8 plus cot inverse of cot minus 19 pi by 8. So let me start. Tan inverse of minus tan 13 pi by 8. So first of all, tan inverse that is odd function, because tan inverse of something minus, so minus common out. So minus tan inverse tan 13 pi by 8. And here cos inverse of cot minus 19 pi by 8. So here minus common out, so minus cot 19 pi by 8. Then after cot inverse of something minus means we have to write pi minus cot inverse of cot 19 pi by 8. Here first cot, that is odd function, that's why we can write minus cot 19 pi by 8. Then after cot inverse of something minus means we have to write pi minus cot inverse of cot 19 pi by 8. Now here minus tan inverse tan of, now 13 pi by 8. If tan inverse and tan cancel out, if and only if 13 pi by 8 lies between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Tan inverse, what is the range of tan inverse? Minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. And we can only cancel out tan inverse and tan whenever x lies in the range of the given inverse trigonometric function. But here 13 pi by 8 does not lies in minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, means minus 90 to plus 90, that is greater than 90. 13 pi by 8 means that is greater than 90. So that's why first of all we have to convert that 13 pi by 8 into the minus 90 to plus 90 range. So my tan inverse of tan, that can be written as 2 pi minus 3 pi by 8. 16 minus 3, 13 pi by 8. And pi minus cot inverse of cot. Here also in a similar manner, 19 pi by 8 does not belong to the range of the cot inverse. Range of the cot inverse, that is 0 to pi, means 0 to 180. But 19 pi by 8 angle, that is greater than 180. So that's why first of all we have to convert that 19 pi by 8 angle into some smallest angle such that that converted angle lies in the range of the cot inverse, means open 0 to pi. So that's why here first of all cot inverse of cot 19 pi by 8 can be written as 2 pi plus 3 pi by 8, 16 plus 3, 19. Now minus tan inverse of, here tan 2 pi minus, 2 pi minus means fourth quadrant. In a fourth quadrant tan, that is negative, so that's why here we have to write minus tan 3 pi by 8. Minus tan 3 pi by 8. Now plus pi minus cot inverse, here 2 pi plus. 2 pi plus means first quadrant, 2 pi plus first quadrant. So in the first quadrant cot, that is positive, so that's why we directly we can write as cot 3 pi by 8, cot inverse of cot 3 pi by 8. Now here tan inverse again odd function, so minus minus plus, so tan inverse of tan 3 pi by 8. Here plus pi minus cot inverse cot 3 pi by 8. So here now tan inverse tan 3 pi by 8. Now 3 pi by 8, that is 67.5 something. 3 pi by 8 means 67.5 degree something. So now that angle lies in the range of the tan inverse. What is the range of the tan inverse? Minus open 90 to plus 90. So now 67.5, that lies in the interval minus 90 to plus 90. That's why we directly cancel out tan inverse and tan, and that can be written as 3 pi by 8 plus pi minus, here now we check, that is 67.5 something. So that lies in the range of the cot inverse. What is the range of the cot inverse? 0 to pi means 0 to 180. So 67.5, that lies in the range 0 to 180. So directly we can cancel out. So 3 pi by 8. So 3 pi by 8, 3 pi by 8 cancel out. So what is the answer? Pi. So here only one thing that you have to remember, whenever inverse trigonometric function of trigonometric function that is given, then if angle does not lies in the range of the inverse trigonometric function, then first of all you have to convert that angle into the range of the inverse trigonometric function. Then after you can cancel out tan inverse and tan, cot inverse and cot, like that. Now next we see Example number 4. Sine of 2 sine inverse root 5 by 3 minus cos inverse root 5 by 3, and we want to prove that is equal to 8 root 5 upon 81. So now how can we proceed in this question? So first of all, we assume that term, let's say alpha, sine inverse of root 5 by 3, that is alpha. Then we know the relation between sine inverse and cos inverse. What is the relation between sine inverse cos inverse? Sine inverse x plus cos inverse x is equal to pi by 2, and for x belongs to minus 1 to 1. So here obviously root 5 by 3, that is lies between minus 1 to 1. And one more thing now. Here sine inverse, let me put x is equal to root 5 by 3. So sine inverse root 5 by 3 plus cos inverse root 5 by 3 is equal to pi by 2. So if that we consider as alpha, then what is the value of cos inverse x? Pi by 2 minus alpha. So that's why here we can write sine of 2, that is alpha, minus. So if we consider sine inverse x as alpha, then what is the value of cos inverse x? Pi by 2 minus alpha. Here we consider sine inverse root 5 by 3 is equal to alpha. So sine alpha is equal to root 5 by 3. One more thing. Here sine inverse x. And what is the range of the sine inverse? Minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 means first and fourth quadrant, but x that is positive, so that's why alpha lies in the first quadrant. Now sine of 2, here 2 alpha minus pi by 2. Now sine of, that is 4 alpha minus pi, 2 to cancel out. Now that can be written as sine of minus pi minus 4 alpha. So sine, that is odd function, so minus common out. So minus sine pi minus 4 alpha. Now pi minus means second quadrant. In the second quadrant sine that is positive, so directly we can write sine 4 alpha. So sine 4 alpha. Now what is the formula for sine 4 alpha? That can be written as minus 2 sine alpha cos alpha, means sine 2 alpha. First of all, that can be written as 2 sine 2 alpha into, what is the formula for that? 2 sine 2 alpha into cos 2 alpha. Sine 4 alpha is equal to 2 sine 2 alpha into cos 2 alpha. Now again, what is the value of sine 2 alpha? 2 sine alpha cos alpha. So that can be written as 2 into 2 sine alpha cos alpha into cos 2 alpha. So cos 2 alpha, so what is the formula for cos 2 alpha? 1 minus 2 sine square alpha. So now we convert the angle 4 alpha into the alpha. So now we put all the values. What is the value of sine alpha? Root 5 by 3. One more thing. Now we want to find the value of cos alpha. So we know that thing. Alpha that is lies in the first quadrant. So in the first quadrant all the trigonometric functions are positive. So if alpha that is here, then root 5 that is 3. So that is 2. So what is the value of cos alpha? Plus 2 by 3, because alpha lies in the first quadrant. So all the trigonometric functions are positive. So cos alpha that is 2 by 3. Now here 1 minus 2 sine square alpha means 5 by 9 sine square alpha 5 by 9. And if you will solve this expression, then you will get 8 root 5 by 81. I am not going to solve this, you will solve it. Okay. Now next we see example number 6. Find the area bounded by sine inverse of sine x and x axis for x belongs to 0 to 100 pi. Means આપણે આ ઇન્ટરવલ જે આપ્યો છે x belongs to 0 to 100 pi. In this interval we want to find the area covered by sine inverse of sine and x axis. So first of all here we have to know the graph of the sine inverse of sine, then after we can proceed. So first of all we draw the graph of the sine inverse of sine x. So what is the graph of the sine inverse of sine x? In a pi by 2 to minus pi by 2, so that is minus pi by 2, that is pi by 2. Now graph of the sine inverse of sine like that is 0, that is pi by 2, that is pi, that is 3 pi by 2, that is 2 pi, and we want to find the area up to 100 pi. So and with x axis and sine inverse of sine and with x axis means area, that is this one. So we have one observation. In 0 to pi we have a one triangle. In pi to 2 pi we have another triangle. Means in every pi interval we have a one triangle. So we have a 100 pi, so 100 triangle, and all the triangle are having the same area. So first of all we calculate the area of any one triangle and we multiply by 100. So first we calculate the area of this one. So what is the area of this one triangle? Base into height, so half base. Base means what is the length of base? Pi. What is the height? Height, that is pi by 2. So that is the area of one triangle. Area of one triangle. That is pi square by 4, area of one triangle. But we want to find the area up to 100 pi. So in every interval of pi we have a one triangle. So in 100 pi we have a 100 triangle. So 100 into pi square by 4, and every triangle having the same area, that's why we multiply 100 into pi square by 4. Area of this one, all the triangle are having the same area, so that's why we can directly multiply 100 into area of one triangle, so 25 pi square.